Welcome to the African Album Review Podcast, where we review Africa's best and latest music projects.
Interestingly, I haven't come across too many full projects from Moroccan artists, especially in the upper echelon. They seem to deal with singles, well, because momentum, right? Manal is one of the Moroccan artists I discovered in the last 3 years or so while doing the Moto Moto Podcast, and she instantly became a favorite of mine through the song Taj, which is one of her top 3 hits since she came onto the scene in 2015. She's finally dropped a debut album titled 360, and your guy's here for it. Africa, Moody say. My name is MJ Wemoto, and I welcome you to the African Album Review Podcast. How's everything going, my people? How you doing? Me? I'm doing alright, It's summer this side, so we're out and about doing our thing, and kind of enjoy that. Anyway, let's do this thing. Manal 360 album review.
The latest African album review is...
360 was released May 21st, 2021 under Bench and Guess Entertainment and distributed by Sony Music Entertainment France. It has 15 songs, 41 minute 51 second runtime, no features, and most producer placements go to Munir Marouf and Blaise Baptiste.
Album review.
Let's analyze the music.
360 opens up with Ice, where Manal flexes more of her vocals with a guitar and a bit of ambiance in the background before the song progression develops. A deliberate tactic for intros to ease you into things and introduce you to the voice more than the music, so I like that. The latest single from 360 is Aitul Police, which is a mid-tempo dance number that has those North African hypnotic flutes in the melody. Catchy stuff, I tell you. The chorus is like a crowd all singing the tune together, which gives the layering a feeling of you need to sing along to this. The music video is even better. A little over a week old, and it is looking too nice. I think it's around already at like 2 or 3 million views now. To be fair, our North African friends have some of the best high budget videos on the continent, and the video for this one does justice to the song. That's all I can say. Baka Baka tickled my fancy instantly. It has a catchy pop lead with a dancey Afro feel to it. Then you can get into the easy sing-along chorus, repeating the words Baka Baka a few times, and it's a hit. From Baka Baka, I enjoyed the trajectory of the album, considering songs such as Nia, which is probably her biggest song that she's ever released. It dropped about 6 months back and has been doing massive numbers. Currently, it's on 37 million YouTube views and nearly 4 million streams on Spotify. This comes as no surprise. It has the very makings of a fine hybrid between some local Moroccan music and then modern pop. Then you get an R&B trap soul type of number in Denby and the catchy Oriental, which has a slow bounce, and it has one of the best deliveries vocally from Manal. She's not a high-pitched type of artist for the most part, in a best zone in my opinion, and this song shows Manal at her very best. Check the acoustic around the 2 minute 25 second mark to close off the song. It's just legendary.
Album review.
The technical side of things.
Although I couldn't understand much of what was being sung here, I easily enjoyed the vibes, and there was a bit of English here and there, maybe not enough to really build perspective for the songs or album, but it was a good touch for me to understand some of the lyrics. Vocally, Manal is a good singer with enough to help you latch onto her work. She will not give you goosebumps necessarily in terms of her delivery per se, but she's such a great studio artist. Her voice can ride a variety of beats and genres. She even has a reggae joint on this album. I mean, damn. Her flow on Son Toi was enviable to say the least. And yes, she does dabble in a little bit of rap and sing rap as well, but only just, and it just gives her delivery that variety, that variation. Interestingly, the flow for me on this album meant it felt like the label songs started off this album, and they're very pop-like and felt more like the manufactured songs, Hard to explain, but in short, it felt like some of them were template songs that needed to be there to satisfy the big wigs and the label. There's some mid-tempo hits in the first 9 songs for real, like for real, before Manal slows it down on Comme Toi, which she asked God for forgiveness in one of the lines, which was repeated and showcased some impressive pipes. It picks up again a few songs later and ends on high. The mixing and mastering on 360 were an absolute joy to listen to. There was some phenomenal high points to it, but ultimately the quality was consistent throughout. And there's some heavy hitters behind it all when an album sounds like that, honestly. Overall, the great thing about 360 by Manal is that it really is a no skips joint from start to finish. That's why it's near impossible to pick favorites, even at 15 songs deep. The balance between the previously released singles and the new material is a great dose of familiarity to not lose the audience. It simply works. I was pleasantly surprised by how impressive 360 was sonically, and some work really went into it.
Album review.
The final thoughts.
You realize how diverse Manal is with her offering. What we knew were the singles and her hot streak of like 1 to 3 songs a year. Not much, honestly. And she did that for a good 6 years before we got a project from her. There's enough songs that could be hits here. It's just about picking the right one, of which she's really done well at that, and it's a game she knows inside out. If you love R&B with pop and want to discover a new realm of that kind of music with a North African taste, then 360 by Manal is such a great album for that. It's not too deep on the local sound to put you off while being vibey enough for your enjoyment. Easy on the ear. Check it out, 360 by Manal. Otherwise, that's it from me. My name is Wemoto, son of Zimbabwe, signing out. This was the African Album Review Podcast. Peace. Dende.
Moto Moto Music, the best place to listen to podcasts about African music online.